Evaluate the following exactly. To evaluate a trigonometric expression in exact form, first draw the angle in standard position. Recall that this is measured counterclockwise from the positive x-axis. Here we have a terminal arm in the third quadrant. Note the angle in standard position measured from the positive x-axis going counterclockwise until obtaining the terminal arm. Then determine the reference angle. Recall that the reference angle will be the acute angle measured from the x-axis. To determine a reference angle in various quadrants, given the angle in standard position, in quadrant 1, the reference angle is simply the angle theta. In quadrant 2, the reference angle equals 180 degrees minus angle theta. In quadrant 3, the reference angle equals angle theta minus 180 degrees. And in quadrant 4, the reference angle equals 360 degrees minus theta. We will then evaluate the trigonometric expression for the reference angle, and then based on which quadrant the terminal arm is in, we'll determine the sign as being either positive or negative. Recall that to do this, we can use CAST, we can use the acronym All Students Take Calculus, or we can just simply base it on the definitions of sine, cosine, and tangent using the signs for x and y within different quadrants. For the first question, cosine of 150 degrees. This corresponds to a terminal arm in quadrant 2. We then have a reference angle of 180 degrees minus 150 degrees, which is 30 degrees. We know that cosine of 30 degrees equals root 3 over 2. However, since cosine is negative in quadrant 2, cosine of 150 degrees equals negative root 3 over 2. For sine 225 degrees, this corresponds to a terminal arm in quadrant 3, with a reference angle then of 45 degrees. This would be 225 minus 180. We know that sine of 45 degrees equals root 2 over 2. We also know that since sine is negative in quadrant 3, sine of 225 degrees must be negative root 2 over 2. Finally, for tangent of 300 degrees, this one corresponds to the terminal arm in quadrant 4. Reference angle here, 360 degrees minus 300 degrees gives 60 degrees. Tangent of 60 degrees is equal to root 3. However, tangent is negative in quadrant 4, so tangent of 300 degrees is negative root 3.